there's an angle of it where we're thinking of how safe are we now in terms of health. There's an angle of it where we're looking at the existing changes in how we all work and how we all live. And then there's also an element of it that opens up investment opportunities and some sort of better international trade. And that's the international travels and tourism. So I know the vaccination is rolling out gradually, and we have cases in some European countries where the government is trying to either stop it or slow it down significantly. I know in Nigeria, we've seen lots of messages flow around a bit where there are concerns that health workers don't even want to take it or they're taking it, all of that argument. Now, there's some sort of obvious recovery going on, and we can see that already started even from the tail end of Q4 of last year. Now, what are the top thoughts coming to your mind in terms of international trade, tourism? How is that shifting? What's happening there that any of us should be paying close attention to? Philip.
Oh, okay. So for international trade, travel, and tourism, I think things are already very bad. I don't think it can be worse because the statistics I see from Statista says that it has declined by about 1.1 billion people. I mean, the number of travels for tourism. And even at the height of the financial crisis in 2008, I was just probably about 37 million. Even the epidemic, I think the SARS epidemic in the early 2000s only had probably around 2 million. So for 1.1 billion people, now it has reduced travels and tourism by about 1.1 billion. That creates, for me, an opportunity. It's true that probably the airlines are struggling now, which is expected if such a huge number of people are no longer traveling, then it means that it will affect your pocket, especially as they still have to compete for the few ones who are traveling by offering the best rate. So, of course, that for me, even though it's a challenge now, and many of them have to weather the storm, but I think it also creates an investment opportunity for those who are patient enough, those who are ready to stay the course. I think probably looking at the stocks of some of those airlines and those whose businesses are related to travels and tourism, even in countries such as that, I think it creates some opportunity. But maybe Debo probably ask more about that. Yeah.
Thanks. I think the outlook is definitely positive for the industry, especially with the rate of vaccination, like Fumi rightly said. Yesterday, the US set a record of most vaccine they have administered in a day, 3.4 million in one day. So the pace is good. Although we still have questions where you mentioned, some even health workers in Nigeria are still skeptical because, of course, we don't know a lot about the possible side effect of this vaccine. Historically, it takes about 10 years to really understand the side effect of any medication and things like that. But we have rolled with this one within 1 year because, yes, there is a problem that needed to be solved, and hopefully we don't run into a different problem. Maybe that will be a different subject later on. But as of today, the vaccination is improving. The outlook looks positive, and if you hear comments from the CEO of the major airlines, Delta, United, they are very positive as well. And they are already reporting higher bookings from January till date because people are now seeing that, yes, vaccine is rolling out. The people that took vaccine already are already ready to travel. So the outlook is good. People, I think travelers' confidence is coming back, especially now there's also talks about possibility of you need to have a vaccine passport to travel. I don't know how that will be successful or what that is going to look like, but all those things, if they come into play, I think travel will return. The only question is what part of travel will return? Is it the tourist type or the business type? These the CEO of Delta was saying he's confident that business travel will return fully. I am not too sure about that one because I think it's bringing the optimism to a higher level than I think it is. I don't think business travel will fully recover to the pre-pandemic days because I think people have really adopted technology in working and going forward, even when the pandemic is over, when there's no coronavirus with us, people already realize we could save money by working remotely. So a lot of organizations will ask more questions relating to travel to justify the importance of those travels. So I think definitely the outlook is positive for the industry.
Thank you, Debo. So just to quickly latch on something you said, which is that you don't think there's going to be so much growth in business travel. You're thinking more personal travel, tourism, in whatever form or shape the tourism takes, personal tourism takes, is what will drive the industry. So now, as we look at that, and as we look at the fact that the pandemic threw the global economy into some sort of recession, how long do you think it will take the international travel industry to recover? Because they've lost so much clients, they've lost so much passengers, and that has impact on a number of them's P&L accounts. That has situations, for example, in the US where we've heard of cases where airlines are filing for some sort of bankruptcy or even considering some sort of mergers and acquisition. Now, but people still need to fly, people still need to travel. How long do we think it will take that industry to recover?
We're looking at the recovery first from the perspective of getting bookings of getting people traveling, and that is one aspect where we think vaccine, yes, maybe I think it was American Airlines who was forecasting that by the by mid 2022, they are saying they see travel returning to pre-pandemic days. That is the area of travel. But when you look at the industry itself in terms of recovering from all the issues they have had, first, the amount of debt they have ramped up. So that is a huge amount of money for them to stay in business, and they are still getting more debt. In fact, the latest round of COVID support that the US government gave, I think the industry still got like 15 billion. So there's still a lot of debt that the industry is in. So recovery for them in that area is going to take a long time. And that's where I like the idea where Philip mentioned that, yes, investing in the industry in terms of buying their shares could be a very good opportunity because they are really, really down. But you have to really hold your long-term perspective because, of course, debt take priority when they are in the process of the recovery. They need to service their debts, and you don't expect immediate jump in the share prices. Another area of concern for them would be, of course, a lot of airplanes have been grounded for over a year now. There's going to be a lot of cost in terms of servicing and maintenance. I have my very good friend who is a captain. We talk all the time about service and airplane, and that's another major cost that they will need to consider when they start flying fully. So there's still some issues, but overall, I would say in terms of traveling, us getting back, I have a positive outlook.
There's a twist to that, which I got from one of the participants, and I will just read quickly his own comments. Is I think in every crisis there are opportunities. The opportunity that I see in travel deficit is for domestic tourist centers to live up to expectations. With this, we can save some foreign exchange and also grow the industry prior to when the international flight is fully recovered. And I totally agree with this because I remember December last year, I took a trip somewhere down west Yoruba land, and I went to areas I'd never gone to. And I met people that I could obviously see these guys are not used to spending holidays in other parts of maybe out, beyond just getting into a flight and I'm going to Dubai, I'm going to the UK, I'm going to the US. A lot of people had not explored the Nigerian tourist centers, as much as I saw the interest grow up in December last year. And if you look at some of the things that we spend a lot of FX on, it's also the flights, the tickets. They cost so much. The middle class and majority of the elite families see travel, international travel, as a must do. For some, it's a prestige. For some, it's a necessity. For some, it's a wannabe campaign. Whatever class you want to put it. But I think that the opportunity, what we are seeing in international travel is really doing is to open up the local tourist center. Now, I don't have a laundry list of the local tourist center that are living up to expectation, that are becoming attractive enough for the middle class families or the elite families to say, I think this place will be very good. There are few of them. But in the midst of what we see happening internationally, I think that's creating a big opportunity for the tourists, for the tourism industry in Nigeria to deepen its roots and to leverage on just local spending only to drive that sector. Philip, I don't know what you think about that, but that's what I see. That beyond what we see happening in international travels, there's so much opportunity back at home for people to explore.
Yeah, I think yes, you're very correct. And I think one thing that is important is to take advantage of it now rather than later. So probably a lot of people are still skeptical about traveling to other countries. At least you want to be, ensure the safety of your family first, and you are probably more likely to travel locally than you want to. You rightly mentioned, yeah, there are several reasons why people want to travel. But I think now that there is at least some people just are bored and want to go somewhere else just to spend some time. So why not? I think those places can start doing all they can. I know, like you said, there are some few places. I know there's Olumorok in Abeokuta,
Yeah.
Obudu Cattle Ranch in Calabar, and some other few places. But are they enough? The experience you get there, is it enough? To probably make you go back next year when international travel probably has started recovering, when international tourism has. So I think if any country or any nation or any government or anybody wants to take advantage of that, it has to be now, so that people can have that experience now, and then when things fully recover, it probably will not affect their decision too much. Maybe not every time, but at least they can also recommend it to others and go once in a while, and then probably get the industry booming locally. So it's an opportunity again locally, yes, rightly mentioned, but it has to be whatever anyone wants to do, it has to do it now when it is